1957 Thunderbird. I bought it from a friend who didn't have time to restore it, so we redid it. And the car looked pretty good until we started working on it. We had to put new floors in it, new quarter panels, new rocker panels. The car was a rust bucket. It didn't look that bad until we started getting it apart. But we started on this about a year and a half ago and finished it maybe 6 months, 8 months ago. And I say we, it was myself and a guy named Joe Brzezowski. Joe helps me with this. The Thunderbird, I didn't want to go stock with it because there are too many stock ones around, so I modified it a little bit. As you can see, we put Mustang rims on it, and we had to put spacers to bring it out where the brakes work. We got 2-inch spacers behind the wheels. We put a different style paint job on it. As I started painting it, I thought, how am I going to paint this? I was going to do it all white with just red stripes over the top. Then I thought, well, I'll put the stripes and follow the body line like a bird, a Thunderbird. So that's what I did. I'm kind of up in the air about it. A lot of people like it, some people don't. So I'll probably stick with this. When we did the car, we put something different in it. The guy that works with me, Joe, we were talking about what kind of motor to put in it, whether to put Coyote in it, the old Y block back in it, which I didn't want to do, or an FE. We decided, because I had a Cadillac motor that I had bought years before, a 500 cubic inch Cadillac motor with a transmission I thought worked. We put it in here, and we went into the car. We cut the X-frame out of the car. We put the Turbo 400 behind the Cadillac. We put the Cadillac motor in, and it went in real good, no problems. The only problem we had was the Cadillac's got an external oil pump. The cross member, we had to notch it and scallop it in order to clear the oil pump. Besides that, it's almost a drop-in job. A little modification on the steering. We did put, simply because of power steering, a Vega steering box that they now make power steering. So we went with that because my wife drives this car. As you can see, it's a Cadillac motor. I have fun with it because I carry it to car shows and people walk up, I ask them what kind of motor this is, engine, and they look at it, and I've had everything from Pontiac to Packard, and I tell them, no, it's a Cadillac, and it's 500 cubic inches. It does out of a 71 Cadillac Eldorado. It did 425 horse stock with 475 foot-pounds of torque. We left it basically stock. We didn't do anything because I wanted to drive it. I didn't want a hot rod. We came inside, we cleaned the whole firewall up and ran the wiring and conduit under the fenders. So there's no wiring exposed in the car. It runs under the fender. When I was talking about the cross member, right here we had to scallop it. It's hard to see down in there, but that was the only major modification. And then running a Thunderbird radiator up into a Cadillac motor, we had to build a little bit of a hose change in it. We used a stock front suspension under it, and then in the rear end we put a Jaguar independent rear suspension in the back end, which was relatively easy too. It wasn't a big deal. The steering, if you want to come around here, Neil, you can see the Vega steering box down here, and then this was a 3-speed car, and this is where the clutch linkage mounted, but we built this steering shaft, and it'll barely tick the exhaust manifold every now and then if I turn hard, but it worked fine, no problems at all. We run the lake pipes on the outside of the car, and I just like the way lake pipes look. We had to put a flexible piece right here because if you don't put that in, it will crack the exhaust pipe. And when we were doing the body work on it, I'm a heretic when it comes to changing things around. I put the scoops in the side, we cut them in, and I like the way a 63, 64 Corvette looks, and that's the reason we put the scoops in. They look like a 63, 64 Corvette. Then, like I said, the independent rear suspension, we got four-wheel disc brakes all the way around it. The bumpers on the car are not in good shape. I'm going to take these off and build a diffuser back here in the back, and I'm going to redo the front end and repaint the car back probably to the same way it is now. Okay, you want to stop. I didn't want the bench seat like a regular Thunderbird. I wanted something different. So when I got the Jaguar rear end, I also got the Jaguar seats, and had them reupholstered to this color. And while we were doing it, I decided to make the inside look like an early model Corvette, resemble it, not look like one. But we built the waterfall console up to here, and we took the glove compartment, welded it up, closed it in. We put air conditioning in the car. We got power seats, and from the Jaguar, we took the ashtray out of the dash and all that. There's no ashtray. Moved the radio down here. We engine turned the dash. This is new. The Thunderbird had very small engine turns in it. I made them a little bit bigger. I used a drill press with a pad on it to turn this down. We changed the gauge package completely around from the original Thunderbird. It resembles it, but it's totally different. Put a different steering wheel in it, and then I moved the tack up here. I built a bezel where the tack sits where the radio speaker was at. And it works quite well, just something different. Most people don't see it until you tell them. And basically, that's it. This 500 cubic inch motor up and let you hear it run. Runs perfect. We completely went through it and rebuilt it. Bored it 30 over, new pistons, everything in the motor's new. And like I said, it's basically stock because it was 425 horsepower. I don't need any more horsepower than that. It's drivable.